Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an interactive webinar at the Gulf Travel Show. Our webinar today is focused on the proactive approach that tourism boards have taken during the pandemic to keep the destination alive and to help promote tourism to the destination. We are going to dig deep into what the messaging they want out currently, what they expect post the pandemic, and how they feel the travelers have actually changed. How has the travel ecosystem changed? So we are going to dig deep into that and hear more about this from our esteemed panelists. Our panel today includes members from Singapore Tourism Board, Spain Tourism, and Tourism Ireland, all three NTOs who have been very active in the GCC in the last 1 year. So hi panelists, welcome to the panel. Can I request you all to introduce yourself one by one and talk about the vaccine situation in your country and the COVID impact? If you could talk about borders and how the population has reacted to the pandemic, it'll be great. Daniel, can we start with you, please?
Thank you very much, Devika. Thank you very much for having Spain Tourism in this very interesting roundtable. My name is Daniel Rosado. I am the director of the Spanish Tourism Office for the GCC. We are based in Abu Dhabi, but we take care of the whole of the GCC countries. So the situation now in the whole of Europe is kind of similar, no? Because we are following certain rules, all of the European countries. So at this moment, the European Union is closed, and Spain, of course, it's closed to tourism from these regions. But we expect that given that the vaccination flow, by the end of summer, Spain will have more than 70% of the population vaccinated. So that will eventually give a boost for travel to come. And we hope that by the end of spring, perhaps these borders can be open again and we start receiving tourism from this region.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Siobhan, can I move to you now? Let's get your introductory remark in.
Yes, thanks so much for having me, Devika. I really appreciate it. My name is Siobhan Upton, and I look after the travel trade relationship for Tourism Ireland here in the GCC. Our office is based in Dubai, but we look after all of the GCC countries from Dubai. Similar to what Daniel said, obviously we're a part of Europe, so currently we're close to tourists from this part of the world. And similarly to him, we're hoping to, with the vaccination rollout, that things will have improved by the end of the summer, and similarly hope to potentially start welcoming tourists again by the end of summer, autumn time. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you. Now moving east to our favorite country in the east, Beverly, can we hear from you about Singapore?
Thank you for having me. I'm Beverly and I head the Middle East office here. So for Singapore Tourism Board in Dubai, we actually take care of the Middle East and Turkey. So we look at it from this part of the world. Vaccination has definitely rolled out in our country, and we have already done the first batch of vaccinating the elderlies and of course the healthcare workers, and we are now in the phase where we're vaccinating everyone. So hopefully that would also help us be more resilient and be ready for travel very soon.
Thank you, Beverly. So I'll stay with you for a bit. I just wanted to understand that STB has always been a trendsetter when it comes to tourism and activities and all of that. And we've seen from the word go, Singapore has been active in the Middle East market. So how important do you feel has it been to be so proactive, and what is the kind of messaging you want to give out to the trade at this point?
I think we do recognize the positive impact of traveling on all of us in terms of our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, aspect of a person. I think the last year has really put the whole world in this unprecedented challenge when it comes to tourism with this pandemic. But for us, we do always see that it is important to maintain this link and this support for not just the trade but also the consumers. So with that, we have been very active, whether it's engaging our trade, even though our borders are not open, we still do it. We want to encourage people, we want to help them, and we want to be here for not just the trade. In terms of the consumer, we want to maintain that aspiration. We want to build their confidence and ignite that passion to travel again and the confidence to travel again, right? We want to build the strength of the trust and the strength of our brand and remain top of mind for a lot of our trade as well as consumers as well. So it is important, and we have been proactive, and we hope to continue to be proactive in this sense.
So Danielle, what do you feel about this? Do you feel that more travel agents have learned about Spain in the last few months? Do you think you've increased your pool of travel agents selling the destination? What are your views on staying proactive in the market at this time?
Yes, well, actually, we think that we need to be proactive because when borders open, you need to have all this work done previously, and then when the time comes and the time is right, then you will be able to do all the things that you have in your plan. But for that, you need to work in previously, you know. So on that previous scheme, we are working now in B2B and in B2C. So in all that we have done with the travel trade is a series of webinars that we are trying to convey all the news related to Spain about the situation, how things are going, what new products they are developing in Spain, because even the situation is as it is, and there are some big openings of hotels and other kind of products that we think that is very interesting, that the travel trade knows and that they can convey to their clients. So we have been making also helping our partners in Spain to meet the travel trade here through a series of meetings and roadshows that have helped them to get in touch with the travel trade and be able to explain directly all the offer they have been building up during this time. Because now, as tourism flows are very small and are little, they are working a lot in rebuilding products and having better products and be able to make a better experience for the tourism when it comes back. We hope that by summer. So we have been working with the travel trade, and also we have focused on B2C, and we have been generating awareness through different online and offline channels in order to have Spain in the top of mind and continue to convey what Spain offers as a destination.
Yeah. So would you say the itinerary for Spain has evolved? Do you think the itinerary that the agents were selling earlier would have changed now? Do you feel they would have added more destinations? And what is your opinion on that? Has there been an evolution there?
Well, our main focus here, since I joined in September 2019, has been to promote more the rest of Spain. We are promoting the most known Spain, but we also want to discover to the public and to the travel trade all those hidden gems that Spain has. Spain being a year-round travel destination, it has so many things to offer. It's a world in one country, so there are so many things that they are not as known as they should be. So we are trying to convey that to the trade. Madrid, Barcelona, Andalucía are the main places that people know and that people refer, and that they will continue to go. And we hope that continues like that. But if they are doing a trip to any of these cities, they can go beyond. So we are trying to discover them more places that they can visit, such as if you're going to Madrid, then you can go to the surrounding cities or provinces, regions, that are surrounding, or the same in Barcelona. There are so many things. You can go in the same day to the mountain to ski, or you can go to Costa Brava and be able to enjoy the beach. The same thing happens in Andalucía. We are trying to discover more places, no? And those itineraries, I think that they are building up, for example, a fly and drive experience. I think they are including more cities and more things to do. So for us, that's great, because we are trying to discover all the things that we think they should be more known in this region, and which is also very fascinating for us, because we talk not only about the things that they normally know more and they have more knowledge about it, but we help them with other places that we are sure that people from this region will love. Like, for example, north of Spain, which is a fantastic natural spot. It's all of the northern part of Spain. It's huge, and you have like very green landscapes that finish in the sea, and it's so beautiful that we feel that we need to express and convey it to the in this region, no? to the public and to the travel trade.
Perfect. That's interesting. So Siobhan, let's coming to you. I know that there is, again, you've been very proactive in the market, but what kind of messaging has been going out? What kind of message are the partners from Ireland giving the agents in the Middle East, and what kind of information are the agents in the Middle East asking for now? Has that asking also evolved?
Well, I suppose the messaging has been like this hashtag longing for Ireland, dream now, travel later. We've been more doing the educational piece, as you're probably aware. We've been very proactive doing online training webinars. And I suppose the beauty of this situation for us, if there is a positive from it, is that because we've such a small team, we've actually been able to reach parts of the GCC that we hadn't been able to reach before due to the online platforms. So we've actually reached places like Saudi and Kuwait, where we wouldn't have been as proactive as we would be, say, in Qatar and the UAE. So it's been extremely positive in that regard, and being able to educate people, the travel trade in those regions. But also then only 2 weeks ago, we had a sales mission where 27 of our key Irish industry partners met with key GCC travel trade. And this was amazing. It happened over 2 days. And I suppose the educational piece on that side, and what our Irish industry were just saying, is as soon as things open, we're ready for you. They've adhered to all the safety standards. They've all the protocols in place. Ireland is the perfect destination. It's full of wide open spaces. It's not congested, amazing landscapes and scenery, lots of beautiful self-catering castles and properties. So we were really trying to push that whole message. And then I suppose we were even more in people's view last week, because it was Ireland's National Day last Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day. So we had our global greenings, and we had some very high profile global greenings. They happen actually worldwide. We had 690 global greenings worldwide in 66 countries. So it was our biggest ever. So basically on our National Day, all these amazing buildings go green, and it just keeps the island of Ireland front of mind in that way. So we actually had the Palm Fountains at the Point went green for the first time ever, and they danced to River Dance. Burj Khalifa went green, Burj Al Arab, all these amazing buildings, the Frame, they all went green. So I suppose, and then we had a St. Patrick's Day at Home event that we pushed out to all of our travel trade as well, that they were able to watch, and it came live from venues across the island of Ireland, which I think really made people just have a sense of longing to travel there. If they'd been there before, it made them want to go back. And, then if they hadn't been, I think it would have made them want to visit. So that was amazing. So it's just been extremely proactive. And then online, we've had a digital campaign going across all of our markets called Fill Your Heart with Ireland. And that's been running for the past year, and it's been extremely successful. So we just continue to push all of this messaging and just trying to keep ourselves to the fore of people's minds and educating people. And we're just really excited to welcome people back to the island of Ireland when the time is right.
That's interesting. I'm so excited to hear about St. Patrick's Day. It sounds like it was quite an event.
It was amazing. We've been really lucky because, I suppose this region where we are, we're more fortunate that we're able to actually hold some live events with trade. So Daniel would have been part of an event that we held before Christmas with other NTOs in Europe, where we had 70 key travel trade, and we promoted all of our destinations collectively. Obviously, we were adhering to all of the guidelines and all of that, but it was an amazing event, and I think it was the first live event that happened. I mean, just last week as well, we had a golf event where we promoted the golf on the island of Ireland, because we're a bucket list golf destination and we've 1/3 of the world's links courses. So we had our key travel trade partners, there are a lot of them that are very keen golfers. We brought them down to Dubai Creek for the day and they had a nice day of golf. Again, it was small numbers, but it was a really nice way for them to get out. And then we had a chance to talk to them about Ireland as a golf destination. So yeah, we've been just really proactive and just trying to keep to the front of people's minds.
That's interesting. So overall, Middle East will be one of the first regions to have the maximum amount of vaccinated travelers, because there has been an outright aggressive approach in vaccinating the population. So what are your views on that? And what do you feel like? Do you feel like your borders will open globally at the same time for all countries? Or is this something that you would take into consideration and increase your promotions in the Middle East, because you know that the majority of the population will be vaccinated?
I think it's extremely, I think it's amazing the way that the vaccination has been rolled out in this country, and it's a credit, like it's forefront to the world. Everyone can see how amazing they've been with the vaccination rollout. Obviously, currently, UAE travellers aren't permitted to enter the island of Ireland, but I do think the fact that most people will be vaccinated will actually help us as things go forward. I don't think everything is going to open up at the same time. That's just not the way it's going to happen. I think there'll be a staggered approach, but I do think it's going to stand to the UAE and the GCC in general that they've been so proactive with the vaccination process, that they probably will be among the first people to be able to enter countries, because there is such a strong vaccination program has happened within the region. So I do think it's a credit to the UAE that they've done such a great job.
Beverly, can I bring you in here? What would you feel is Singapore stands when it comes to the vaccinated population of the Middle East? And more about Singapore has also done a lot of activities. So have you tried to increase the time spent in Singapore of a group that goes from the Middle East? Like, are you increasing the number of days a group wants to stay in Singapore by showing them more attractions or something on those lines? Are you changing the itinerary as well? So can I get you in on that, please?
Vaccination is important, personally, just for yourself to protect yourself, whether you're traveling or not. I think that's quite a standalone in that sense. And while vaccination is changing the game, this needs to work in tandem with other measures, such as your testing, your movement restrictions, and identifying countries that are safe and have successfully controlled the virus. So for Singapore specifically, we have been and continue to explore ways to open up our borders via bilateral kind of an agreement, right? So we do have some of the green lane arrangements, we do have some of the business arrangements that will then slowly allow people to come. So I think yes and no, in a way, vaccination will change the game for sure. How it would change, I think it really depends on the country-to-country agreement, at least for the beginning of time, right? We have been actively vaccination, yes, as I've mentioned earlier on, and Dubai is doing a fantastic job. UAE is actually doing a fantastic job at that. So hopefully that will help us to, speed up this kind of arrangements with the Middle East. In terms of the things that we've done, I mean, since the start of it last year, we've already started various kinds of initiatives. So for us, we started off with encouraging and engaging the trade last year, right? Because it was a time when it was chaos. So what we did was we organized little games online at that point in time when the whole world was on lockdown. So we had these little games going on, and then slowly right now we've opened up or we've launched a new campaign called Singapore Reimagine. This is where we get the trade as well as consumers to rethink how travel would be, reimagine how travel is going to be. So this pandemic has definitely changed the way people operate, changed the way we travel for sure, and changed the way we experience things that we used to do in the past. It's no longer going to be the same. So this campaign aims to get travel trade, aims to get consumers to come in together, reimagine the kind of experience in a safe way, but still having fun. So with that, we have also done several hybrid events. So for example, for us, Singapore Food Festival is a huge thing. It used to be like, every restaurant is launching our parties and everything. And obviously we couldn't do that last year. So what we actually did was a hybrid version. We actually brought it online. We had kept the packs sent out to people so people can actually experience it while doing some activities online. That was one. At the very beginning of COVID, I think it was in May last year, we actually did club event. So we tied up with one of our clubs in Singapore, very old and famous club, Zouk, and we did this clubbing event across 4 continents kind of thing. So it's over like 3-4 days, and then we had different DJs spinning and everybody was just coming online. So that was at the start. Now we're looking at hybrid, and for Dubai, since it's open, I'm actually planning for a consumer event that's going to come. Hopefully that comes true, where I will bring Singapore to the Middle East, since we can't travel there at this point in time. So we are looking at stuff like that to engage not just our trade partners, but also the consumers, and have them experience the country even before they can travel. So hopefully that will come true.
So all these marketing activities, expectations from the trade, like, is this what your travel partners in the GCC are also asking for? I understand that Singapore partners want this, but what are the kind of interactions you're having with the travel agents in the GCC? What kind of response are you getting from them?
Actually, it's the trade here that's been asking me to do some stuff, and almost every day I get the question of, when is your borders opening? We want to go, and unfortunately, I do not have an answer to that yet. So it's not the Singapore partners that are pushing me. It's actually this part of the world that was pushing me, and it's like, we want to go. When can we go, right? And well, this has obviously then evolved the way we market the destination, at least for now. Whether it has changed the itinerary, hopefully it should, because it is a reimagined traveling experience now. So yes, I would think that would change the way people are going to book, the way people are going to spend time in Singapore. It will be a lot more quality time. It's probably going to be a bit longer. It's not just like a half-day city tour, rush kind of thing. And that is the aim that we want to have people, really experience things through and through.
So how long would you say now an itinerary, like for a family that goes to Singapore, would be like?
I will never tell you 3 days, because it's definitely not enough. So literally, when I have people going there for 3 days, they come back and they say, that wasn't enough. There was too many things to do. I've always preached that you need at least 5 to 7 days. And with this pandemic, I think you can have even more time there. There's plenty of things to do, plenty of things to experience, and travel is travel. It shouldn't be stressful. You should be resting and relaxing and enjoying the experience. So more than 5 days for sure.
So Danielle, Beverly is taking 5 to 7 days from the holiday calendar. What would you say Spain needs? How many days would you suggest for Spain now? Like, now that there are new destinations that are opening up, in the sense that you've talked the trade about newer destinations. So how do you see the itinerary evolve for Spain?
Well, actually, the average travel time to Spain is around like nearly 1 week. No? So that is time more than enough to experience one of those destinations. No? Depending on the destination, perhaps you need 1 or 2, but it's not enough. For example, if you plan to see all of Andalusia, which is only one region, 7 days won't be enough, no? Because there is so much to do, and also we want people coming to do it like in a very calm and relaxed way. No, nothing of going from one place to other in a hurry. No, it's a time for relax and to spend quality time, no, with family and friends or by yourself. So we think that with this pandemic and the hassle that between traveling to one this one country or the other, that will probably take down, in some cases, those kind of trips that were putting together different countries. No? So in order to get rid of all the hassle, people will try or tend to go to only one country and spend more time there. No? So it will be fantastic if people from this region could spend on average, no, because we have different time scales. But in average, 2 weeks in Spain will be perfect to get to know a little bit of the south, a little bit of in the north, and then you can reach also some other cities which have very interesting things. So I think that this time that people pass in Spain will increase in order to have a better stay and get rid of all those restrictions.
Interesting, very interesting. Can I move to Siobhan now? So Siobhan, in Ireland, do you feel that the pattern of travel will change? Do you expect more luxury travel to come in? Do you feel that the travel agents need to evolve when it comes to selling a luxury destination now? What are your views on that?
I don't really think so, because I think we've always pitched Ireland as a luxury destination. So that's always been to the forefront. We've always seen it as a really good luxury destination for people from this part of the world. We would think that, similarly to what Daniel says, we'll actually get longer dwell time, that people might just actually come direct to Ireland and spend, we always think around 10 days is a good length of time, because as we all know, people from the GCC love to shop. So they're definitely going to want to go to one of our beautiful cities to do some shopping. And then we've some amazing castle property resorts, even more modern property resorts, and just amazing things to see. Like, we've the longest coastal touring route in the world, called the Wild Atlantic Way, on the west coast, where you see all that amazing scenery and you get all that fresh air. So people love to drive along that coastal touring route and meet the real Irish people and just have that real Irish experience. And then we've the Causeway coastal route in the north, which is that whole Game of Thrones experience. So 80% of Game of Thrones was actually shot in Northern Ireland. So the actual sets are the scenery. So you can physically go there and dress up in the costumes and do that whole thing. So there's amazing things to do there. And then Titanic Belfast, because Titanic was actually built in Northern Ireland. So we have that whole experience. And then along the Wild Atlantic Way, we have UNESCO World Heritage sites, like one called Skellig Michael, where Star Wars was actually shot. The last 3 Star Wars movies, it was Luke's Island. So they're just stunning things to see and experience. And we've got amazing activities, boating, archery, fishing, golfing, like I said. So there's lots of different things that people can do, like spa experiences, endless what you can do. And we can tailor these into amazing private experiences that not everybody gets to experience. We actually have a whole ultra luxe strategy that we're rolling out, and we really see that Ireland is going to be an amazing destination for people from this part of the world post-COVID. It seems to be already we're getting people contacting us, because I think perception is reality. Like I said, it's not a congested destination. It's a new destination for a lot of people from this part of the world. It's got lots of wide open spaces, and we have everything that you need when you want to go and travel. So I think it's going to be a great destination for people to travel post-COVID.
Yeah. So I'm just going to hold that thought for a bit and ask you another question here. So I know that you've done a lot for the travel trade in terms of interacting with the agents, teaching the agents on the new normal, and a lot of activities. So now, what are your expectations from the agents beyond sending a lot of people? Because borders are closed for right now. So how do you expect them to promote the destination differently? What would you say are like your top 3 expectations from the travel fraternity now in the Middle East?
Well, I suppose we have been engaged a lot with people, as I said, in the UAE and in Qatar, but what we've been able to do is expand that to Saudi and to Kuwait and other parts of the GCC. So we've developed those relationships. So I suppose what we've done is educate those people, first off, who probably had no knowledge before, or very little knowledge of Ireland. For my existing trade, who know a lot about Ireland, I suppose it's just educating them then on our safety procedures and all of our safety charters, to make sure that they're still as confident as ever to promote the destination, which I know they are. They know all of the people firsthand. That's something we've been actually very proactive about, is doing those introductions with the Irish industry. So they have those first-hand contacts, like those GMC contacts, those hotel contacts, that they know them firsthand. So we've done a lot of work around that, and they're actually actively engaged with them. Like, they're consistently on WhatsApp to each other and just waiting to be able to promote it as soon as things open. So those two things have definitely been to the forefront. And then I suppose educating them on something a bit different, like golf. Like I said, we kind of hadn't promoted it as much as we have recently, but just showcasing that it is a bucket list destination for golf. And we're also, something I think that we should highlight, we're now promoting to Irish expats and like even European expats, because the first thing people are going to do once everything opens is visit friends and family. And our indication is when people do travel, they're actually going to travel home and spend a lot of time at home and visit home for a long time, and actually their big holiday at home, where before maybe they would have gone somewhere else, gone home for a brief spell just to see family, but they're going to travel around Ireland and experience all that has to offer. So I suppose as well, just highlighting to our travel trade that these people are also, you know, credible people who will be actually looking to book Ireland and experience it. And I suppose then also letting those expats know that all the travel trade in this region know everything about Ireland. They can show, even though those people are from Ireland, but for that luxury experience, they know it all and they can help them with their packages. So I think we're ready to go as soon as things open. We've been really, really proactive sharing that whole message.
I think everyone's just waiting to travel as soon as borders open up more. So moving from luxury travel, I want to touch upon MICE travel as well. And I want to discuss this with Beverly first. So Beverly, I know that Singapore's always been big on MICE. And now MICE, I think, as the industry has evolved, because I think that small meetings there will be a change in the way people do business. So what is your stand on MICE tourism, and when do you see that come back? Like, where does Singapore stand with that?
We have been test bedding several styles of doing this MICE events and exhibition and meetings and stuff like that. One of the largest one we did last year was Travel Revive, where we actually flew in people from all over the world to come for this MICE event, and it was the first one we've done. I think hybrid would be the way that these business events are going to go, simply because international firms are, truth be told, I don't think anybody's jumping to send their staff, you know, across. Hybrid events, I think it can really help us to reimagine how business meetings and events can take place. Meetings can take place. Even for us now, we're doing a Zoom meeting, right? But of course, there are people who still want to meet physically. And with that, we have put in place several measures to make sure that everybody is safe. So that is one thing that has definitely changed for the MICE landscape, right? We've done a few, actually. Travel Revive was the first one, and then we started recently we did one MICE engagement. Again, it was an international thing. We got all our officers involved, met trade partners, over 700 participants from around the world, and we managed to do hybrid in a way that we had some activities going on for these participants, online as well as physically in Singapore as well. So some people were in Singapore. They managed to do some of the experiences like you would in a meeting. And then from there, even our overseas partners could experience some of this virtually, but some markets, we actually even gave them something physical so that they can actually be engaged. So I do see this as an evolved and probably the next thing that people will start looking at for businesses. Even how are they going to do incentives in the future? It's not going to be, I'm going to send like 200 people for a holiday now. What is going to change, and how can we do it differently? I think that is something that will definitely be what businesses or corporations, big corporations, are looking at, especially those that have been going for meetings and exhibitions and stuff like that. For us, we've done just for the Middle East itself, we've done a few engagement efforts as well, virtually. And even at my second one, my last one that we did, we managed to bring a little piece of Singapore back to here by showcasing some of the experiences. We had an interactive map. People could go in, they could tour Singapore, little pockets of it, experience the zoo even, and then went on a city tour and then spoke with the local and stuff like that. So I think these are engaging ways that people need to, or the countries need to start to evolve and adapt to make sure that the experience is even richer than if you're there physically, because it's an even larger challenge, right?
Absolutely, that was interesting. So, Daniel, I want to ask you another interesting topic that comes up around travel is air connectivity. So, what do you feel is, do you think all the air routes will open up right away, or do you feel that there will be a staggered increase in air connectivity, and how would that impact tourism? And along with air connectivity, I would love to get your views on the new travel pass. Like, would we now need a health passport to enter? And I mean, I know you're not talking, I mean, you can't talk in terms of exactly what the government is planning, but what is your opinion on these concerns that arise around travel?
Yes, well, connectivity is one of the main issues, no, when traveling, no, especially from this country that 98% of the travel is made by air. So having a strong airlines is an asset. The good thing about this region is that we can see some of the best airlines in the world and one of the most strongest one. So actually, the companies in some other parts of the world are having some problems in order to maintain themselves. But here, the airlines the main airlines have their future guarantee, and that is not a problem. So that is very good for the outbound tourism. Regarding to Spain, we have been maintaining a frequency which is rather high, taking into account that that travel is not allowed for tourism. So the connectivity has been great, and at the point that when demand comes back, it's going to be very easy to absorb that demand and be able to bring tourists to Spain. So we are happy with that, and we think that it can when borders open, it can be a good asset. We will probably miss some of the flights, seasonal flights that they were normally going to Spain for this year, and I hope that for next year we can get some of those back again. In order to talk, talking about the vaccination and the travel pass, we are yet to know what the European Union will do deciding the travel passport. No? Last week, I think it was on Wednesday, there was a first step, and the regulation was passed in the European Union Commission. But there are still a couple of steps ahead. So it's expected that more or less by summer, it can be active in Europe as a way to facilitate travel. No? So Spain is there leading all the efforts to resume the travel, and if it is approved, we will start implementing the travel pass at the earliest convenience. So the passport that is being discussed in Europe, it will try to be to be as effective as possible, but at the same time, the less restrictive as possible. No? So it's expected that the passport can provide information that will allow the person to move freely, no? If he has received the vaccination. But in order to not reduce the rights of other people, there are talks being about that it is also possible to come to Europe with a negative test, and even if you have passed the COVID, but with other kind of restrictions. No? So coming to Europe will be possible, but if it is safe, and we will try to take care of the health of all the people that come. So health and confidence is something that we are looking very much into it. That's one of the reasons that, for example, from Spain Tourism Office, one of our main campaigns is the Travel Safe campaign, because we feel that confidence will come back when travel will come back when there is confidence, and confidence will be there if there are healthy health measures and things put in order to guarantee that safety. So with all those measures online, I think that travel and connectivity will be an asset, and I think that will help a lot to have the tourism back again.
So what do you feel would be your main expectations from the Middle East market? We've discussed promotions and all, but have you set some sort of like deadline saying that I would want these many people to travel to Spain in 2021? Is there anything like that on the cards?
It's difficult to make those provisions, because we are on a place now with borders closed that we need to work step by step, and as things and the circumstances will be evolving, we will be assessing at that moment. So our actual foreseeing for the future is that by summer we hope to be able to receive tourists. And if that is possible, and with the vaccination rollout quite good, because now the last figures I saw, I think Spain was the sixth country with more second doses vaccinations. So there's a effort from the country in order to make summer possible. But that depends in so many factors that it's not easy to give a figure. Of course, it's going to be less than 2019.
So with this, we are coming towards the end of our discussion today, and I would want all our panelists to give some closing remark. And while we discuss our closing remark, I would really want you to highlight your marketing plans and expectations from 2021. I'm sure the marketing message has evolved, and I would love for you to highlight that. Siobhan, can we start with you, please?
Yeah, I suppose just to say that we're going to continue to keep educating people around everything we have to offer on the island of Ireland, our safety charters, just what they can expect once they are able to travel to our destination and how safe the destination is. And we're just going to keep proactively getting that message across. We're very hopeful that we'll be able to welcome people before around autumn time, I'm hoping. But it's a looking glass that you need to look into. I suppose nobody knows the future, and if we've learned anything from this pandemic, it's that the goalposts are consistently moving. But we are extremely hopeful. We're going to continue with our Fill Your Heart with Ireland campaign. We're going to have a green button campaign that we will launch, where we'll actively be getting people to book. So we've things ready to go. But as I say, our Fill Your Heart with Ireland campaign is going to continue. I'm going to continue engaging with all my travel trade and meeting with them and telling them everything new that we have in terms of product and different things that come on stream. And if there's any news or updates on when we will open, as soon as I know, they will know. And I suppose I'm just really excited for everything to return to some level of normality and for us to all be able to get back out and travel again. And yeah, I'm hoping to hopefully see hopefully get to Singapore and actually Spain as well. I normally go to Spain on my holidays, so I'm looking forward to getting out and about, and we're so looking forward to welcoming people from the Middle East when the time is right.
Thank you, Siobhan. I think we are also waiting to get to all the destinations. I feel like the day the borders open, I want 5 holidays within that year. I'm not waiting any longer. Beverly, over to you. Can we have your last remarks, please?
Yes, we are all ready for this to be over. We are, and we will continue to engage our trade. We will continue this education and in updating them on all the new regulations and all the new happenings that's going around in our country. We have actually done this training manual, and we will continue to push that, because that's where we will also update about what's going to be happening or what's the new regulations and stuff like that. In terms of consumers, I definitely want to keep us in top of mind, like I say, how we reimagine travel, and hopefully, at least for now, bring Singapore to the Middle East, and later on, bring Middle East to Singapore. So these are some of the things that we will continue to do, and we will continue to be active in, hopefully, until such time we can all travel to each other's country. Now I really want to go to Ireland, by the way. So
Let me
yeah,
know, I'll give you an itinerary.
we'll be in touch.
Perfect, Beverly. Thank you. So the last word with the man now. So Daniel, what do you feel?
Well, I feel the need to travel, but I will have to wait a little bit now to make it easy. So on our side, we will be keeping on with we will be doing activities, engaging with the travel trade. We have in the pipeline a new training program that will soon see the light, so that we can that way do a really well training about the destination. But we also have some activities also in the pipeline for the general public, no, to do in the street, let's say. And for example, this year we will also be promoting other kind of products, no? Like we will do special emphasis on culture. So, for example, this year Spain will be the guest of honor in the Sharjah Book Fair in November. So we will be doing. Showcasing the destination in different kind of of places and events. Also with the expo in Dubai this year, we will have also many events for general public and also some for the trade. And we will keep on informing through the Travel Safe campaign, and also other things, other marketing online that we are doing in different channels that will keep on the interest, we hope, and have there on the top of mind for whenever people can travel from this region. They choose Spain if possible, but I know we have here, we can see two very good destinations. So the choice is going to be tough.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you to all my panelists to be part of this. I'm sure now, after hearing the discussion, the trade is going to have a hard time to decide which destination they want to promote first. And I'm sure they're going to send all their clients to all 3 destinations within this year, as soon as the borders open. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you soon. Thank you.